Right, I think we're live. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, day 3 of Virtual GridCon. The chat is broken again, so bear with us a minute. Let us know in the chat if you can hear me and see me okay. And by the time I've got the chat working, I thought I'd fix this yesterday. There you go. Right, yeah. Let me know if the chat. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me and everything is okay. This morning, going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit special. I did this in the summer, and by popular demand, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to be playing through an old fighting fantasy novel. Now, I was going to be playing through a newer game book today, but it had 24 pages of rules, and the way the things have gone this weekend, I've not had time to do it. So that's going to be covered later. That's Heroes of Ruawan or something or other. I'll be doing that at some point in December or January. So today we're going to be doing Freeway Fighter. Now, I've not played this in 35 years, okay? This, I think this might be one of the original ones, but I got this in 1985, and I remember playing it in 1985 when it came out, but then I don't think I've played it since. So it's in fairly good condition, because I think it's only been played once, and I probably never completed it, but we're gonna give it a go. Now, because it was only decided this morning, literally about 15 minutes ago, that this is the one that I would be doing, I haven't really finished and done the preparation yet. So we're going to go through. I've got my wipeable board, I've got my pen, I've got my tissue, I've got my dice tray. We're all ready to go. Is that a contact? I don't know. I don't know what type of car that is. So this is a thrilling, fantastic adventure in which you are the hero. So this is Ian Livingstone. Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson created the series of game books together, but this one is Ian Livingstone's. Right, so if we're sitting comfortably, if you've all got your coffees, it's a red car, says Andrew. Yes. So, as in previous Fighting Fantasy game books, your abilities will be determined by dice roll. Skill. Okay, so we do have a character sheet, which is... I've seen it somewhere. There is the character sheet. Okay, so we need to... Oh, look at this. We got a car with things on. Right, so driver's name. That will be Paul. That would be me. Right, so skill. So we have a maximum skill and current skill. I'm going to put my maximum skill in this box here. And I'm going to do it proper. I'm going to do it old school. I'm going to do it, you know, like you should do it. But this is the bit which is very, very random, okay? Even before you start playing, you roll a d6 and you add 6 to the number, and that's your skill. And if you roll low, you're probably not even going to win. So we're going to roll. I'm going to see how we go. It's a 4, so my skill is 10. There you go. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right, stamina is 2 dice and add 24. Wow, I thought that used to be 2 dice and add 12. That's a lot. Okay, so stamina. Sounded like a cat. Okay. Anyway, 2 dice and I'm adding 24. What have I got? 4. Not too good, but that's okay. That's still 28 stamina. And then finally, oh, it says here, skill is a measure of your driving, mechanical, and fighting abilities. Stamina represents your injuries. You can have a med kit. Oh, I've got a med kit in my jacket that contains 10 packs of medical supplies to help heal wounds, which is this. This is a med kit. So I'm probably going to put the med kit down here. Med kit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll rub them out when I use them. And each one of them is going to add 4 stamina points back. You can use it at any time except in combat. Yes, right, look. Roll 1 die and add 6, which is my luck. If you're in the chat and you've played this one, let me know. And have you beaten it? What have we got for luck? Oh, it's another 4. So they're not bad stats, to be honest. Luck is a measure of your fortune, fate, and everything else. Yeah, using luck is risky. So you will be forced to test skill at various times in the game. But every time you are forced to test luck, you must subtract 1 from your luck, because eventually it will run out. Car specifications. Your car's armour and weaponry will also be determined by dice rolls and entered on the adventure sheet. See, if this was a more modern game, you would have a point system. And to be honest, if I ever started playing these games seriously, this is what I'd do. I would create a point system where you spent a certain amount of points and you could customize your character however you wanted. It's the way that D&D went. D&D used to be just roll dice to generate your stats, and it was very random. And then they went with a points-based system, which just made everything a lot fairer. So that's probably what I'd do with this. Somebody's probably already done it. Edward is here. Hi, Edward. Chris is here. Adam's here. David's here. Andrea's here. Excellent. Joe's here. Rick's here. Who else is here? I think that's everybody. Right. So firepower. So this is the car. So we'll put the car over here. So firepower. No, let's not put it over here. Let's put it over here. Firepower. Yeah, the firepower of my car should not be determined by a random dice roll, but I'm rolling a die and adding 6 to it. So again, bit random. 2. So my car's firepower is not that great. That can increase or decrease during your journey, but never exceed its initial value. The use of your car's rocket launcher is explained below. Right, armour. How have they spelt it? They've spelt it with a U. Excellent. So I'm going to spell it with a U as well. Right, okay. Okay, armour is 2 dice and add 24. Oh dear. Right, so the armour of my car is terrible. 27. In addition to its machine guns and an unlimited supply of bullets, the car also carries missile weapons which may be used during combat. You have at your disposal 4 rockets and 3 canisters of iron spikes and 2 rear-mounted oil sprays with 1 canister of oil each, which may be used when the option is given. Right, okay, so we've got 4 rockets. I'm going to try and draw a rocket, and my art skills are not that great. It looks like a penguin. Yeah, it's not that great at all, is it? Right, so they are my 4 rockets. Believe it or not, they are rockets. Iron spikes. I'm going to just draw something like that. That's not... Okay. And 2 canisters of oil. Put them like that. There you go. 2 canisters of oil. Yeah, so we got 4 rockets, 3 canisters of iron spikes, and 2 rear-mounted oil sprays. Right, okay. Fuel may be acquired during your journey, and the fuel should be entered on the adventure sheet in the space provided, which is there, okay? Other modifications and accessories to your car which were acquired in the adventure will be listed. Armour may increase or decrease, but may never increase its initial value. Why is that text there and not next to armour? Right. Combat. I think we'll get to combat when we get to it. We'll go back to these rules and read it when we get here. But basically, we're going to be fighting people. We've got hand fighting. So we'll do that when we get to that bit. We've got shooting. And we've got vehicle combat. And then we have credits. Credits are emergency currency units. As the 21st century, you start your journey with 200 credits. Okay. Let's put that here. Credits. Or creds. 200. So yeah, this is futuristic. And it's kind of like Mad Max. And if you ever know of an original game called Car Wars by the American Steve Jackson, it's kind of based on that as well. Jill's here as well. Hi, Jill. Thank you very much. Need a graphic designer? Yes. I should have rolled 34 dice and taken an average. Yeah, that's what I'd have done. Oh, and Brett says he has played it. Right, okay. Most people distrust credits and prefer to barter. You may, for instance, have to use some of your medkit in barter. Right, okay. We are ready to go. Are we sitting comfortably? Oh, I've got car accessories, spare wheels. Did it mention that? Did I miss the spare wheels? I may have missed the spare wheels, but I've just noticed that they are on here. So I'm going to put them down here. Spare wheels. There you go. Right. So, yeah, we'll do this when we get to it. That's what this side of the piece of paper is for. And any map. Right, vid news bulletin. If you're ready to sit me... Yeah, Sebastian's here. Love Car Wars, love Gaslands. Yeah, so I grew up playing Car Wars. I played a lot of Car Wars in the 80s. Absolutely loved the game at the time. Now I think it's totally unplayable. because it takes forever to play. Gaslands by Osprey Games, I really, really do want to have a look at, because that is the Car War setting but turned into a modern game. It's on my list. Right, Vid News Bulletin. Dateline, 21st of July, 2022. I'll tell you what, I should have done this. I should have done this then. Right, let's put this away. Let's do a different one. No, I'm kidding. The disaster happened just at a time when the world was beginning to enjoy itself. Yeah, not sure about that. Nobody could have predicted such a catastrophe. World War III had been averted, and the power blocks of East and West were now working toward world peace and unity. Revolutionary farming techniques had all but eradicated hunger, and increased mobility had led to people's greater understanding of one another. The morning of 21st of July 2022 had started just like any other. It was going to be a hot day, and the news on the holovision was good. A government spokesman proudly announced that solar energy now powered 90% of homes and 70% of industry. The 3-day working week was now the norm. Yeah. And England was to play the United States in the soccer finals in the World Cup in Sydney. However, there were only hours to go before the beginnings of the collapse of civilization. Later that day, an unknown disease broke out in New York. Wait a minute, this is a bit close to home. And spread with such devastating speed and fatality that before the government and scientists realised what was happening, half the population was dead. The disease spread throughout the world, carried by aeroplane passengers, and decimated population centres everywhere. All attempts at quarantine were useless. 4 days after the outbreak, 85% of the world's population were dead. Communications, essential services, transport and administration had broken down completely. There was no one left to try and find the cause of the outbreak. It might have been a mutated virus or some lethal germ unknowingly released from a chemical warfare laboratory. It was mere speculation, and nobody really cared, as survival was the top priority. The speed with which civilization fell into ruins was frightening. Most survivors didn't know why they still lived, and didn't know how long to go on living. Brute force became the law. Riots, looting, destruction and drunkenness were commonplace. People would even kill for a can of beans. Large cities were soon abandoned due to the lack of food and risk of disease. 6 months after the disaster, there remained 2 kinds of people: those who wanted order again and those who revelled in the disorder. The former grouped themselves into small towns and built defences around them. Inside, they appointed leaders and began the task of self-sufficiency. These fortress towns became the homes of the military, farmers, doctors and people concerned with the rebuilding of civilization. The other group lived in a wild and brutal existence outside. They were the new barbarians. Roaming the land in cycle or car gangs, they terrorized or wiped out any small pockets of civilization they came across. You are one of the lucky survivors living in a fortress town which has been named New Hope. You are working on the design of an early warning system to protect the town when you hear a knock at your door. It is 2 members of the town council, and they look very excited. They tell you that their radio has just picked up a message from a fortified oil refinery near San Anglo in the south. The people there are willing to exchange 10,000 litres of petrol for grain and seeds to improve their food production. The inhabitants of New Hope could certainly use the petrol for generators and agricultural machinery. Being offered 10,000 litres of this rare commodity is too good an opportunity to miss, especially as there are surplus stocks of grain and seed. The council have agreed to the deal and are now looking for someone to undertake the journey to San Anglo to deliver the sacks and drive the petrol tanker back to New Hope. It will be a long and dangerous journey through lawless country. The 2 men tell you that they think you are the best trained person to undertake such a mission and ask if you would like to volunteer. They tell you that a Dodge Interceptor will be prepared for the journey. Maybe that's what that is. It will be fitted with machine guns, radio, roof-mounted rocket launcher, ram bars, loudspeaker, and various defences including a rear oil spray, tyre shredding spikes, armour plating and bulletproof windows. You do not need convincing, as the benefit to New Hope will be enormous. This pioneer journey might be the start of the link between the new societies trying to bring about civilization, if you succeed. You tell them that you will do the job and begin your preparations immediately. Over the next 2 days, you supervise the modifications to the Interceptor. When it is finally ready, it looks like a battle car. Battle Cart, another game I used to play loads. When it is finally ready, it looks like a battle car. You check it one last time to ensure that the weapons work and that all your equipment has been packed away in the various compartments. You run through the checklist: map, flashlight, medkit, compass, food, water, full fuel canister, 2 spare wheels, flat U-fix, instant puncture repairer, and tools. Finally, you put on the shoulder holster for your revolver and leather jacket, which carries your bullets and knife. Satisfied that you are ready, you climb into the driver's seat. Peering through the narrow steel slit that is now your windscreen, you see the town's population gathered to wave you goodbye. You start up the engine of the Interceptor and crawl forward to the gates leading to the outside world. It is over a year since you last ventured beyond the walls of New Hope, and you are excited at the prospect of what you will find. Right, there we go. Morning, Andy. And yes, Heinz beans. Yeah, we're definitely not starting wars over Tesco everyday value beans, which are actually really good. Right, here we go. So this is our car. There we go. I love the illustrations in these books. Right, off we go then. Number 1. And we are going to be doing some audience participation today, so don't try and get me killed. Right. Oh, Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining in. And yes, Freeway Fighter won the vote this morning, so I can make my car noises. The first thing to strike you as you cruise along the road is the speed with which everything has fallen into decay. You hadn't realised how much maintenance was needed to support civilization. All around, buildings are falling into ruin. Abandoned cars litter the road in rusted disarray. Grass and weeds have grown rampant everywhere, with nobody to hold them back. And packs of dogs and other wild animals roam freely. You stop at a small town some 15 kilometres from New Hope and switch off your engine. Suddenly, it is deathly silent, apart from the eerie howl of a dog somewhere down the street. You are tempted to get out of the car to explore, but realise that this is an unnecessary risk. You are about to start your engine again when suddenly the sound of shotgun breaks the silence. The sound of a shotgun breaks the silence. Right, we have a choice, so I'm going to go to the chat. If you wish to get out of the car to investigate, so if you want me to investigate, put the word investigate in the chat. Or if you would rather drive out of town, put drive. So the two options are investigate or drive, and we'll see what you vote for while I get a drink. We have got about, I think it's about an 8-second delay on the chat today, and I'm going to be playing for about, well, I've got Blackstone Fortress at 11 o'clock, so I think, and that's going to need me to set up 15 minutes before, so what is it now, 9:20, I'm just going to set an alarm, edit alarm, I'm going to set the alarm for 10. Let's set the alarm for 10:40. Okay, because I kind of want to wrap up at a good point. Right, alarm has been set. What have we got in the chat? We have investigate, drive, investigate, drive, investigate, 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 drive, drive. Okay, investigate has just won, but only just. So we are going to investigate. 126. Because we might die in 5 minutes. That's one of the other problems with these games. They were a bit old school. You'd make a choice, turn to a page, and it'd be like you die. Oh, okay. 126. You run across the road and press yourself against the wall of the building, half expecting another shot to ring out. Your heart beats fast as you creep forward slowly to the corner of the building and look around. There is nobody in sight down the narrow street. You take one step around the corner, and then a voice shouts out, "Okay, that's far enough. One more step and you'll be full of holes. Where are you from?" Okay, we have a choice. If we reply that we are from New Hope, so in the chat, put New Hope if we want to tell them that we're from New Hope, or we could reply that we are a lone road warrior living nowhere in particular. So options in the chat are New Hope or nowhere. They are your two choices. So there's somebody here. He's obviously shot at somebody. And he's seen us. Yeah. So, New Hope or nowhere. What have we got? New Hope, New Hope, New Hope. Watch out, I am Mad Max. That's not an option, Paul. No, that's not an option. You're playing a different game. 3 votes for nowhere. I think it's New Hope. Yeah, New Hope has just won. Right. So we're going to say that we're from New Hope. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But we'll see. We'll see. 274. Okay. A man suddenly appears out of a doorway and walks towards you with his shotgun pointed at you. He looks at you sternly and says, "That's where I'm heading. Been cycling for over a week since my station wagon was ambushed and my wife and son were killed." Oh, okay, we're all right then. "Stopped here to get some cans of food from a supermarket back there when some crazy dogs attacked me. Shot one of them and the others ran off. My name's Johnson. Pleased to meet you." He puts down his shotgun and extends his hand for you to shake. He tells you that he is a builder by trade and asks how much further it is to New Hope and whether he is likely to be let in. You reply that it is only another 15 kilometres and his chances are good. They need skilled people. You also tell him about your mission and he warns you not to stop at Joe's Garage, which is 8 kilometres out of town. So remember that. Don't stop Joe's Garage. They ain't got no petrol. They just rob people who stop there. You thank Johnson for the advice, wish him luck, and walk back to your interceptor. Its powerful engine roars into life when you turn the ignition key and you screech off once again. Okay, yes, we've made a friend. Cool. Right, so we are going to 34. So that was obviously the right choice there, because he's a good guy. 34. And we don't go to Joe's Garage. 34. Oh, I think we're at Joe's Garage. She looks a bit suspicious. You're soon out of town, zigzagging around wrecked cars and fallen trees along the road. Further ahead, you can see that the road joins the main highway south. There is a small filling station at the junction named Joe's Garage. You stop as you are intrigued by the hot rod parked around the side, looking clean and in running condition. A young girl suddenly comes out of the office wearing a t-shirt and blue jeans. She smiles and says, "Hi, can I help you?" If you wish to talk to her, or if you would attempt to drive up the highway. So I'm not going to put this choice to the chat, okay? I think we're going to drive on because I think we made the right choice earlier and I don't think we're going to stop here. Hopefully the chat would agree with me if we did that. But yeah, we're going to drive past Joe's Garage. Another time I play it, I might stop and see what happens. But I think it's bad if we stop. So we're going to drive on up the highway. 167. Here we go. Despite the hazard of having to avoid abandoned cars, the highway is wide enough for you to gather plenty of speed. It's exciting to drive so freely without fear of being hauled in by the police for violating some traffic regulation or other. You smile as your speed reaches 190 kilometers per hour. But your joy is short-lived. You suddenly see a red Chevrolet heavily reinforced with steel plating coming straight towards you. Someone is sitting in a small turret on the roof, a machine gunner. You think to yourself that maybe having to deal with the police in the old days wasn't so bad compared with what is coming at you now. You breathe in deeply and get ready to press the machine gun fire button. Okay, so we're fighting a red Chevy. Firepower is 8 and armor is 15. And we're on page 167. 167. Right, so we need to read the rules for vehicle combat. Vehicle combat. Okay, so machine gun battles between vehicles. Your interceptor has a turret-mounted, computer-controlled machine gun that can fire in all directions. The sequence of vehicle combat is as follows. Roll 2 dice, add the firepower score of your opponent's vehicle to the roll. That is their attack strength. And this is why I've got 2 different coloured dice. See, so the red dice are going to be for my enemy. So it's going to be 2 dice plus 8. Then I roll 2 dice and add the firepower of my interceptor, which is also 8. If your opponent's attack strength is higher than your own, your interceptor has been hit, proceed to step 6. If your attack strength is higher than your opponent's, you have hit theirs, proceed to step 6. If both attack strengths are equal, both attacks have missed. And a successful hit causes damage to the vehicle, which is represented by deductions from the armour. You roll 1 die, so it's not a fixed amount of 2 like it was in the previous books. And then start the next attack round. If during vehicle combat you wish to launch a rocket at the target instead of firing, you may do so before the start of any attack round, remembering to delete 1 rocket from your adventure sheet. A hit will be automatic and destroy any target. Oh, right. Okay, interesting. Oh, Rick's coming up with a whole backstory. Oh, Chris wants to go back and take our chances with the blonde, and Rick's backstory is that it was actually the builder's ex-wife. World building. That's what it's all about. Okay, so we could just use a rocket. I'm not going to this time, but it's interesting that we have actually 4 rockets, which look like rusty old nails. And basically they will allow you to win any fight whatsoever. So that's quite a cool little thing. If you're up against something dangerous, you can just fire a rocket. Okay, we're going to go with the normal combat. I'm going to put the book to one side for now. And here we go. In fact, I should get another dice, which will be for the damage. Bear with us a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to get another dice so that I can actually just roll everything all at once. Right. Okay. I have another dice. I also remembered that my gate settings are on my audio, which you probably can't tell any difference, but I'm going to turn them off anyway. There we go. Right. So let's put that on screen. So I'm going to roll all these dice together. And the red one is the enemy, and the yellow one is me. Oops. Problem is, I've got one of these dice trays where I can't see, so I think I've won that. Yep, so I rolled 9, they rolled 5, and I dealt 6 damage. Nice. It's a good start. Right, round 2 of combat. Daka, daka, daka. Okay, they got 11, I only got 10. I take 3 points of damage on my armour. So down to 24. Oh, Loki's just come in. Morning, Loki. You had your breakfast? You going to come and join me? I'm in the future. Yeah. Come here, you. Come here. No, no. He's not in that mood. Right. I'll try and get Loki on camera later. Round 3. What have I got? I got 7, they got 6. I've dealt 4 damage. Down to 5. Missing a dice. Where is it? There it is. Oh, 3 damage. Down to 21. How I used to play this on the bus on the way to school. I didn't get on the bus. I used to cycle. I've rolled a 6. They've only rolled a 4, but I've only got a 1. Oh. Glancing blow. Right, okay. Come on. They're down to 4 armour. I can get them. I've no way of repairing my thing. I've got a med kit which repairs my stamina, but I don't think I've got any way of repairing armour on my car. Oh, that's bad. Taking 3 damage. Okay. Next up, more Daka Dakas. Yes. Oh no. I mean, I've hit, but I've only dealt another 1 damage. Just dragging this out. Yes, I've won 2 damage. Oh, this is silly. Right, okay. 1 more hit. Come on. 4. 4 against 4, so neither of us hit. Okay, can take that. That's fine. Did I get it? No. 10 versus 10. So still nothing. This is very tense. 8 versus 7. Got him. Right, okay. So that's done. Whew. 167. If you manage to destroy the Chevy in this vehicle combat, turn to 188. Yes. Okay, 188. You stop your interceptor. I just realised this is a green screen. And this is a green book. So it does that when I hold it up to the camera. How strange is that? Right. Anyway. You stop your interceptor to examine the burning wreck. Who were these people and why did they attack you without warning? You shake your head and hit the accelerator, eager to reach your destination. You are passing a security truck and thinking about all the money inside it, which is now useless, when suddenly a voice comes through on your radio above the crackling static. It is one of New Hope's leaders. She tells you how a gang of bikers has just attacked New Hope, killing 8 people in the process. After a short battle, they were eventually beaten off. She warns you to be on the lookout for them, as they have kidnapped Sinclair, the council leader. Ooh, plot twist. You acknowledge the message and say goodbye. After an hour or so of driving without any further incident, you notice that your petrol gauge is dropping. The Interceptor is very heavy on petrol. You stop and pour the contents of the fuel canister into the tank, realizing that you will have to find some more petrol soon. A few kilometres further, and you know your luck has really run out. There must have been a car crash at the time of the disaster, which caused a huge tailback of now abandoned cars. It is impossible to continue along the highway. You reverse back to the last exit and drive off the highway. You must decide which way to head along the road which crosses it. Okay, we have a choice to make. We can either go east or west. Put your choice in the chat. You have about 30 seconds or so. Spare wheel. Stop hitting it with the stick. Not sure what that's in relation to. But east or west, they are the choices. I tell you, one of the things that I'm quite pleased by is that I think the writing is actually quite good. I was expecting to read this and expect it to be very much aimed at kids. Now, it might still be, but I'm reading this and I'm finding this writing quite good. So, west, west, go west, east, west, east, west is the best, west. We have 6-2 for west. Leave Sinclair to their fate. They're either in on the attack or not worth the time. Go west and go west. Right, we've got 8-2 for west, so we're going west. Turn to page 66. Meanwhile, the backstory continues. Sinclair's in on it, apparently, along with the builder and his ex-wife, who now runs Joe's garage. Right, 66. The road heads directly west and you are able to travel along it quickly, as it is relatively free of obstacles. However, your easy drive is short-lived. The road comes to a river, which it used to cross, but the drawbridge, which spans the river, is partly open, stopping you from driving across it. You judge that if you drive over it at about 180 kilometers per hour, the momentum should carry the Interceptor across the gap to the far side. But then again, it might not. Okay, we have another choice to make. We can try to drive across the bridge, so put in the chat bridge, or turn around and drive east, so put east. So it's either bridge or east in the chat. Do we give up on the bridge and go back east, or do we try and drive over the bridge at 180 kilometers per hour? Which seems a bit risky, but west might be the best. We will see. Right, let's get rid of this. This is supposed to be a non-permanent marker. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have pretend we're the A-team and fly over the bridge. Yes, bridge. Have I played the latest one from Rihanna Pratchett? I haven't. No, I haven't bought any Fighting Fantasy books for about 30 years. So these are old ones. Bridge, 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 bridge. What's the worst that can happen? Bridge, bridge, bridge. Right, nobody wants us to turn around. So we are going to try and drive across the bridge at 180 kilometers per hour. Turn to page 270. Okay, well, I've just seen the picture. I'm going to cover the picture up. Okay, you reverse your car to give you a long enough run up to the bridge. You tense slightly and the adrenaline starts to flow through your veins. The engine roars as you pump the accelerator, then you suddenly release the clutch and screech away towards the bridge. You hit the bridge at 120 kilometers per hour and watch the dial rise to 130 as the front wheels leave the ground. Roll 2 dice. Oh no, that might not be us. Right, we're going to roll 2 dice. If the total is the same or less than your skill, oh, we might be okay. Right, here we go. Can you use the rocket? No, I can't use the rocket. Here we go. Yes, rolled a 9, got a skill of 10. Awesome. So, 70. I thought that picture was us then. Right. The wheels slam down on the far side of the bridge and you have to struggle with the steering wheel to keep the Interceptor going in a straight line. You are across the bridge but travelling at high speed towards an overturned truck. Roll 2 dice. We're trying to do another skill test. And this is where, if I'd have rolled a 7 on this at the start of the game, it's hardly worth playing, I think. Oh yeah, rolled a 3. Easily. Right. 62. You managed to control the speeding interceptor and swerve around the overturned truck. Nice. Right, page 151. Right, you drive off the bridge heading west again. You soon come to a T-junction which offers you a choice of roads. We can carry on going west or we can drive south. So they are the choices in the chat, west or south. I'm actually going to make a map because I like maps. So we had New Hope here. And then we went north, and then we met the builder bloke, and then we went up here, and then it was Joe's, and then we drove on from the highway, and we could have gone west or east because the highway was blocked. We went west, and there was a bridge. Okay, and then we went over the bridge, and now we have the choice of going west or south. Okay. So we have south, south, south. Where are we meant to be heading to? I don't know. South, west, 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 south, west, west, south. Right, it is currently 6 for south and 5 for west. So at the moment, we're going south. Oh, Mark's counting. Thank you, Mark. 5-4 for south. I thought it was 6-5. 6-4 for south. Yep, we're going south. Right, we are going south. I'd have gone west. If you would rather drive south, turn to 362. Right. The country road runs straight ahead, far into the distance, and you are able to make good headway, as it is relatively free from abandoned cars. But after an hour's driving at high speed, the road finally ends at a T-junction. We can go left or right. So next thing for the chat, left or right. So we've gone south. See, I don't actually know where we're supposed to be heading to on here. And now we can go left or right. Okay. So yeah, let me know. I used to love making maps. I always liked making maps, from when I first played the fighting fantasy novels. And then every time I'd play any games like this, I'd always make a little map. And computer games that I used to play as well. Obviously, a lot of them now include maps within there, but yeah, I remember making lots of maps. Always like maps. Right, we have right, right. Right helps we're going back home. Right, right. Yeah, left or right instead of east and west, and right. Okay, we got loads of things for right. Nobody's saying left. So we are going right, which is back west. Where were we? 362 we were on. Okay, so if you wish to turn left, go to 92. If you wish to turn right, go to 153. Okay, so we're going right, 153. Which you're right, is back west. Okay, 153. You continue to make good headway along the country roads. The untended fields on both sides of the road have grown wild, and you wonder how long it will be before they are farmed again. The road soon ends in a T-junction, and you can either turn left to head south towards San Anglo. Isn't that where we're going? So we've gone along here, and we can now go left to head south towards San Anglo. Oh, sorry, and you decide to turn. Right, yeah, so T-junction, and we're going, it's not giving us a choice. We are actually heading south towards San Anglo, 225. So I think that's where we're supposed to be going. 225. The road cuts through overgrown fields, but there are no obstructions on the road. You check your mileometer to see how far you have come, and see that the petrol gauge is reading empty again. If you have picked up a full fuel canister recently, no. If you have not picked up one, turn to 364. I don't remember us picking up one. So, 364. We're going to be out of fuel, aren't we? Oh, 364. It's near the end. A few kilometres further down the road, the jet engine, the engine starts to cough and splutter. Finally, it jerks to a halt and your worst fears are realised. You have run out of petrol. There are no buildings and no signs of life, and you realise that the mission is over. You have failed and must try to get back to New Hope on foot, perhaps to try and reach San Angelo another time. Right, well, there you go. I guess what do we do now? Should have talked to Barbara, the ex-wife. What do we do now? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to start again right from scratch and do it again and roll new dice and do different choices? I think that's probably what we should do. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you want me to do. Restart if you want me to restart and do completely new rolls. Rewind, which will be to keep the same stats as I had and just go again. Because we don't know where we get the petrol from. So it's either restart or rewind. Let me know in the chat. Restart is going to mean that I roll all my stats again. Rewind means we'll keep the same stats and we'll go back to the start. So we have 1 for restart, 2 for rewind. Rewind would be quicker. Yeah, rewind. Always keep your thumb in the book at the last page, but nobody ever did that. Well, in this case, it wouldn't have helped because we're out of fuel. We need to get fuel. Okay, we have more votes for rewind. So that's what we're going to do, which is dead easy. And we have plenty of time. It is only 9:43. And I'm not going to reread all of the narrative again. So, okay. And this is what these games are about. You shouldn't do them on your first time. It's about trying to work out what you need to do. So we know that at some point we need to pick up a fuel canister. Now, I don't know where we're going to get a fuel canister from, apart from Joe's garage, but we were told to avoid Joe's garage. So, off we go then. Number 1. Right, are we going to do the same thing? Are we going to get out of the car to investigate, or are we going to drive out of town? Because let me just look. Investigating was 126. So if we'd have driven out of town, it was 34. If we'd have investigated, it would have been 126. If we told him we were from New Hope, it would have been 274. And 274 would have gone to 34. So either way, whichever option we do at the start, so I think we do the same thing. I think we get out of the car to investigate, speak to the builder, tell him we're from New Hope, turn to 274, he tells us about Joe's garage, and then we screech off. Okay, so that's the start. It's exactly the same. Right, so are we going to stop at Joe's garage or not? Because I don't think we should. Because the builder said they've got no petrol. They just rob you. So I think, again, we should avoid this. We should avoid Joe's garage. Drive on up the highway. Okay. 167. We'll come back for the blonde another time. Right, now we have the fight. So it's the same fight as before. So it's firepower 8... Armour 15. Okay, let's do this again. Or should we use a rocket? There was a new hot rod. There was a new hot rod. So Chrissy says, stop at the garage. I think the builder is in the biker gang. Take Barbara hostage. Don't think we can do that. Barbara looked very friendly. We'll be fine. No, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if there's a way to get the fuel another way other than Joe's garage. But yeah, maybe on a third playthrough, we'll go to Joe's garage and see what it's all about. Right, okay. So we're doing a fight. It is 167 again. 167. Off we go. Right, so firepower 8, firepower 8. So I rolled a 7. It rolled a 7. So that's a tie. Nothing happens then. I rolled an 8, they rolled a 4, and I dealt 6 damage. Nice. Yeah, I could rocket them because I've got 4, and I'm kind of trying to do this quickly, but we'll save the rockets. Oh, 9 versus 6. 2 more damage. Down to 7. I've lost that one, haven't I? Yep, taken 2 damage. I'm just going to use tally marks. That's not 11. That's 2. Gone down to 1. Right, 1 more hit and you're toast. 4 versus 4. Yeah, low rolls on all sides. Right, okay. 7 versus 9. I take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Uh, 7 versus 6. Yeah, got him. Right, okay. People are saying rocket in the chat just because you like using the emojis. I'll use the rocket next time. So that was 167. That goes me to 188. Right, okay, so we've done the 188 thing. We've arrived at the huge tailback. Yeah, so there's the tailback is here. We can now go east or west. Now, we went west last time, which we know is the way to San Anglo. We know that San Anglo is here. San Anglo. But we need fuel. So there's got to be some fuel around here somewhere. So what do you think we should do this time? Should we go west again and try and jump over the bridge again? Or should we go east and see what's east? Let me know in the chat, east or west. You have the time it takes the board to revolve. Paul is saying west to then west. So you're saying west, then over the bridge, and then west there. What does everybody else think? Chrissy says east. I'm just going to finish my bran flakes while you're deciding. I'll mute my... So Paul says west, Chrissy says east, Andy says west, Brett says east, Adam says east. Hi Adam, thank you for joining in. Mark says west, Jill says east, Rick says west. So we're 4-4 at the moment. Where's the pimped porridge? I didn't have time for the porridge this morning. Peter says west, Chris says west. We're going west. Andrea says west. 6-4 for west. Right, so we go west. We arrive at the bridge. Deja vu. I wonder what's east. 66. Right, and I assume we're going to try and jump over the gap. Or it's not actually the same. So if we try to jump over the bridge, we turn to 270. If we go east, we turn to 159. 159 was not the east from here. East from here is 341. But interestingly, if we go to the bridge and then decide to turn round, we get a different option. Okay, but I think we're going to go... I think we're going to try and jump over the bridge again. Okay, here we go. 270. So we need to make a skill check. Just about done it. If we hadn't done it, I think we'd be upside down and then it'd be game over. Yeah. And that's the thing. Does it make it replayable? If you didn't have the instant deaths in this game and you succeeded, it would take you less time to complete the game. So I know the instant deaths are not popular, but without them, it would take you less time to actually complete the game. And as long as you can rewind like this and it doesn't take up much time, it's like Time Stories. I have no problem with the rewinding in Time Stories because you don't have to replay it all. You can just skip bits. Anyway, drifting off topic. We're doing another skill check to avoid hitting the truck. Yes, done it. Okay, 62. 151. Okay, so we've arrived at this T-junction here and we're now going west here. So 179. Right, 179. Standing in the middle of the road, waving his arms around frantically. I guess it's this guy. is a man wearing a denim jeans and jacket. A motorcycle helmet covers his head. Okay, it's not that guy. No, that's the outlaw. That's from 178. So, in the middle of the road, waving his arms around frantically, is a man wearing denim jeans and jacket. A motorcycle helmet covers his head. We can stop and talk to him, or we can drive past him. So, talk or drive are the two options for the chat. So, we are here, and this is motorcycle guy. I'm going to try and draw a motorcycle. Yeah, it's not a very good motorcycle, is it? Art was never my strong points. So, yeah. Are we going to talk to him, or are we going to drive past him? So we have drive, talk, talk, drive, talk. It's currently 4-3 for talking. Bike, petrol. Could be 5-3 for talking, 6-3 for talking. Maybe he's run away from the motorcycle gang. Okay, so we're going to talk to him. If you wish to stop to talk to him, turn to 142. I'm really enjoying this, more than I thought I would. You know, because I remember playing these as a kid, 35 years ago, and enjoying them then. I didn't think I'd enjoy it this much going back to them. This really makes me want to do more of these, as we spoke about the other day. Right, 142. You screech to a halt, but leave your engine running. Through your loudspeaker, you tell the man to raise his arms into the air and not to try any tricks. You notice that his motorbike is lying on its side just off the road. With your gun drawn, you carefully step out of the car. Suddenly, the man in denim runs off the road and dives into the ditch, just as something flies through the air and bounces onto the road between you and the interceptor. With horror, you see that it is a grenade. You see a blinding flash, and in the same instant, a deafening explosion knocks you off your feet. Test your luck. Now, our luck is 10, but... Oops. Okay, so we've done it, but our luck goes down by 1. Every time you test your luck, it goes down by 1. So, we were lucky. It was a trap. If you're lucky, turn to 299. Talk, you may have biscuits. 299. Morning. I'll have a cup of tea, please. Yes, thank you. It's great in the future. You can just order cups of tea and they arrive. 299. Despite the force of the blast, you only suffer a minor flesh wound caused by flying shrapnel. Lose 2 stamina points. Okay. You roll along the ground, taking cover behind the interceptor as your assailants begin shooting. The only way to escape it is to shoot it out. Right, we have a first biker, which is skill 7, stamina 13. And then we have a second biker, who is skill 5, stamina 14. Okay, so this is a gunfight. We've not done one of these before. During this shooting combat, both bikers will fire separately at you during each attack round, but you must choose which of the two you will fire at. Against the other, you will throw for your attack strength in the normal way, but you will not wound him if your attack strength is greater. You must just count this as though the bullet has missed you. Right. If you win, turn to 97, but reduce your skill permanently by 1 if you are shot more than once in the battle. Oh, that's nice. That's quite a nice rule. Right, okay, so we're on page 299. 299. And I'm now going to read the rules for shooting combat. Shooting rules cover handguns, rifles, throwing knives, bows and arrows, etc. Roll 2 dice, add your opponent's skill. Roll 2 dice, add your skill. Yeah. A successful hit causes injury. Missile weapons cause various amounts of injury. Roll 1 die and deduct this number from the injured party's stamina. Okay, it's exactly the same. It's just skill and stamina instead of firepower and armor. Yeah, okay, right. So, however, we have another one. So, let me just read that again. Make sure I get that right. You must choose which of the two you will fire at. Against the other, you will throw for your attack strength as normal. Right, okay, so I have to fight them both separately. Rocket. I can't use the rockets. The things under the rockets are the iron spikes, and then we have oil canisters. Can't use any of those. Do have a med kit. I'm going to sneeze. Bear with a minute. Oh, the tension. Not going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Right. So we got 5 stamina, 5 skill and 14 stamina. We should probably go for that guy first. Yeah, I'm going to go for that guy first. So against the guy that I'm fighting against. Interesting. 2-on-1 combat. So I've rolled a 7 and I've got a skill of 10. Oh yeah, so I'm way ahead on this one. And he's got 7 plus 5, he's 12. Yeah, so I'm 17 versus 12 and I've dealt 4. Okay, so that's down to 10. Now I have to roll for the other one. But this time, if I succeed, it doesn't actually matter. I don't deal damage to them, but he will deal damage to me if I don't roll high enough. So I've got an advantage of 3. Yeah. So I've rolled a 6, plus my advantage of 3 is 9, which is not enough. So I get hit for 4. Ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been shot. Now in the first one that I played, Wall of Fire Mountain and Forest of Doom, you could use luck to try and increase or decrease the amount of damage. They've not got that in this one. Right, next round of combat, I'm going to go for the same one. So I've got an advantage of 5. So I have succeeded and I've dealt 5 damage. I am yellow. Yeah, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, you're right, I'm yellow. Did I win that last fight? Thank you. It's the sneezing. It's completely confused me. Let me just go back. Okay, so I won that last one. Yeah, you're right. I'm yellow. Thank you. So I didn't get shot. But because I wasn't shooting at him, I don't actually deal the damage. Right, okay, we're good. Second round of combat, dealt 5 damage to this guy. Notice how I'm using a tally system for me and a number system here, just to confuse everybody. Cup of tea's just arrived. Are you going to sit with me? This is exciting. Oh, breakfast, okay. Well, come and have your breakfast up here. Oh yeah, that's true. And then the other one, so again, I'm yellow. He took 4. No, I didn't. He didn't take 4 because I can only shoot at 1 of them each round. And I've chosen to shoot at Biker 2. So I've got 6 plus my 3 is 9, which is enough to avoid the bullet. Right, okay. We're going to go for Biker number 2 again. Ooh, there's Loki. Yeah, what's that? That's a 4, isn't it? Yeah, so I've done it. And I've dealt 2 damage, so he's down to 3. And against the other guy, I'm just trying to avoid it. Oh no, I had plus 5 on that one. Yeah, this one I'm at plus 3. Oh, easily, yeah, so I avoided that bullet. Right, off we go again. Shoot Biker 2. Oh, it's only 1 damage. Okay, and against the other one. Yeah, I'm fine. Right, next round of combat. This is just a matter of time because of their low skill values. I should be fine. He says. He says. I think I've just done it. What's that? That's a 4. Plus my advantage of 5 is 9 against 9. So it's actually a tie. Okay, and against the other one, I've got an advantage of 3. Yeah, fine. Right, okay. Come on, Biker 2. 6 plus my advantage of 5 is 11. Yeah, Biker 2 is no more. Biker 1, I'm just trying to avoid the bullet from this one. Yep, which I did. Right, next round it's just 1-on-1 now. So, off we go. I've got an advantage of 3 on the skill. What's that? I've rolled a 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I've been hit. He got me. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. He got 10, so 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've been shot once. Ouch. That's his revenge for me shooting his friend. Okay, I got this one. 2 damage, down to 11. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's really not good. I rolled the double 1. Snake eyes. So yeah, I've been hit again for another 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my skill is going to go down by 1 at the end of this fight. Because I've been shot twice. Oh dear. Right. I'm going to have to be using this medikit, aren't I? I've still got an advantage of 3, which is just about enough, but I only dealt 1 damage. Rubbish. What's that? 7, 10. Yeah, it's 5 damage. Okay, it's down to 5. And yeah, that's another 1 damage. Down to 4. It's another 1 damage, down to 3. I'm dragging this out, aren't I? Come on. What's that? 5 plus 3 is 8. Nope, that's a tie. 3 plus 3 is 6. I've been shot again. 1, 2, 3. It's really not going well. I need to stop using marshmallow bullets. Yes. Does your skill drop when shot? Yes. For this combat, it says if you get shot twice in this combat, your skill drops by 1 at the end of the combat. So it's not 9 at the moment, but it will be. 5 plus 3 is 8. Not enough again. I get shot again. Oh dear. I've taken 21 damage. I'm going to have to use up most of this medkit, aren't I? Oh, is that it? I think that is it. Finally. Right, he's gone. Combat is over. And I am going to use 5 medkits. 5 medkits. Okay. Thank you. Thought this might have been cleaner using these tissues, but maybe not. Right, so I've taken 1 damage and I've used 5 medkits. There we go. Right, okay, we finally got rid of the 2 bikers. What was that? 299. How are we doing for time? 5 past 10, plenty of time. Okay, so turn to 97. Actually, it doesn't say reduce your skill by 1 at the end of combat. It just says, oh no, it does say if you win, turn to 97, but reduce your skill by 1 if you were shot more than once in the battle. So it is kind of at the end. Right, 97. Where is this? Where are we on the map? We're here. It was an ambush. 97. You stand up and walk over to where the 2 bikers are lying crumpled in the ditch. One of them is carrying a throwing knife, which you slide down the leg of your leather boot. Do I add it to my thing? You rest for a while until you feel fit enough to continue your journey. I'm going to write throwing knife. I don't know whether it didn't tell me to, but I'm going to do it. Okay, thank you. So we are continuing our journey. Turn to 215. 215. You travel west looking for a major road going south, but the decision is made for you when you arrive at a solid tailback of cars just beyond a left turning. The impassable blockade of cars and trucks stretches into the distance as far as you can see, all of them long since abandoned. So I think we're here. If you wish to head south, turn to 149. If you would rather stop and look inside some of the abandoned vehicles, turn to 10. Okay, so I think we're going to have to stop and look at the abandoned vehicles to get the fuel. Because if we go south, we're just going to end up in the same place as we were before without any fuel. So I'm going to stop and look inside the abandoned vehicles. Yes, petrol. Look in cars. Turn to page 10. 10. Whatever caused the tailback certainly created havoc among the owners of the vehicles. Cars appear to have been locked into other cars as frustrated drivers tried to ram their way out of the blockage, only to make it worse. You squeeze between the vehicles looking for something useful. You find a crowbar on a truck and use it to force open the boots of several cars. Moving up the line of cars, you suddenly panic at the thought of the interceptor being left unguarded. If you wish to run back to your car, or do we want to keep searching through the cars? So, two choices are back, which means we're going to run back to the car, or search, which means we're going to keep searching through the cars. I think I know what you're going to pick, but it's up to you. Are we going to go back, or are we going to search? So we have search, 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 and back. So the one lone voice from Andrew worrying about our interceptor, but the majority is search. We're going to search. Yes, search has it. So 359. 359. Okay. Inside the boot of an old Ford, you find something which makes you whoop for joy. A full canister of petrol. Add 1 look point. Yes. Okay, so well, look is back to 10, and we have fuel. Okay, awesome. Carrying the crowbar and the fuel canister. Oh, so we got a crowbar as well. Crowbar. We surely should have brought a crowbar with us. I mean, everybody takes a crowbar with them, don't they? You leap across the roofs of the cars and hurry back to the interceptor. Luckily, it is still where you left it, and you are soon on the road again, heading south. 149. Okay, 149. The country road runs straight ahead as far into the distance as you are, and you are able to make good headway as it's relatively free from abandoned cars. This is... So we can now continue driving south, or we can go left and head east. I think we're here. Yeah, I think we are now here. So I think we want to go south to San Anglo. Right, okay. So yeah, we're going to go south. Turn to 225. The road cuts through over... Yeah, if you have picked up a fuel canister recently, which we have. So I'm going to get rid of this, because this is now where we're going. Okay, so 197. You stop the car and get out to empty the fuel canister into the petrol tank. The canister does not hold much petrol, and you soon realise, and you realise that you will have to be back on the lookout for more if you hope to reach San Anglo. By the time you set off again, it is early evening, and you watch the setting sun through the right-hand window. Soon it will be dark. Right-hand window, heading south, right, west, yeah. Soon it will be dark, and there is a new decision to make. Okay, we have 3 choices. We can either drive off the road and sleep inside the interceptor. So if you want me to do that, put sleep. If you want to find a building to spend the night inside, put building. Or drive on through the night, put drive. Okay, so it's either sleep, building, or drive. And we are now here on the way to San Anglo. So yeah, sleep, building, or drive. This is good, this, because I can drink my cup of tea while people are talking. Sleep, sleep, and a zombie kit. Right, what have we got? So we have sleep, 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 4 sleeps, 5 sleeps. Meeple Pete is here, morning. 6 sleeps, 2 drives and 2 buildings. I think sleeping Yeah, Jill and Peter say sleeping as well. So I think sleeping has won with the most votes. So we're going to sleep. We're going to drive off the road and sleep inside of the Interceptor. So turn to page 4. Page 4. You pull off the road and park the Interceptor behind a low wall. When you turn off the engine, you notice how deathly quiet it is and wonder if anyone heard you stop. You eat your food quickly, but wait until it is completely dark before settling down to sleep. In the morning, you wake early, feeling refreshed. Add 2 stamina points. You start up the Interceptor and are soon heading south. Okay, right. So we heal our remaining 1 damage that we had. Yeah. Okay, all right, there you go. 254, I think it was. Yes, 254. 254. The countryside is picturesque in the early morning light, but you are unaware of the dangers ahead. The road has been mined by country outlaws waiting to rob anyone passing through it. Roll a die. Okay. Then pick the die up, grab it from the other side of the table, and then roll it again. 2. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, turn to page 129. Did I dream of Barbara? Oh yeah, definitely. 129. Oh, Barbara, and the things that could have been. Right, 129. Suddenly there is a deafening explosion and the Interceptor is blown sideways by the force of a detonated mine. Oh dear. Roll 2 dice and deduct the total from the Interceptor's armour. What's that? 6. If you survive the explosion. Yes, so I'll take another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you survive the explosion, turn to 93. 93. That should have been a luck test, really, shouldn't it? Anyway, 93. Ah. Hang on a minute. Have I got that right? Roll a die. Yeah, turn to 129. 129. 93. You try to restart your stalled engine and get away before the outlaws arrive to see what they have captured. Okay, test your luck. Just. Yes, only just. So my luck goes down to 9. And I turn to 268. Fortunately, the engine was not damaged by the explosion and it starts up straight away. You drive off hastily, lucky to have survived. 303. So there's a minefield here. There you go. A universal symbol for minefield. 303. It was 303, wasn't it? Why have I got my finger there? 93, 268. 268, 303. Right. As the morning wears on, it becomes very hot, and the further south you travel, you notice a change in the vegetation. The overgrown fields turn into the scrubland, and it won't be long before you are driving across the desert. A few miles further down the road, you arrive at a major junction. We can turn left to head east, or we can keep driving south. I don't think this map's right. I don't think it's mapped right. Anyway, we have a choice to make. We either go east or south. East or south. They are your 2 choices. Yeah, there must be something wrong with this map here. This must be like in this bit or something. Or maybe I've actually got this wrong and maybe this was this way. Yeah, I think all of this should actually be up here. I'll have to check that later on. But yeah, I think this is where we came from. And I think we started out and we went down here. That would make a bit more sense. Yeah, because it's south that we want to go. Right, what have we got? South, 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 south. Okay, so south wins. We're going to go south. 189. 189. You die. Leading off the road on your right is a rough road which is marked with several sets of tyre tracks. The tracks look as if they were made quite recently. If you wish to drive down the rough road, turn to 24. If you would rather stay on course for San Anglo, turn to 207. Right, another choice. Do we want to go down the rough road, put rough in the chat? Or if you want to stay on course for San Anglo, put course. So rough to go off on this rough road here, or course to carry on going south to San Anglo. Several tyre tracks, recent. We might be able to get fuel. That's the thing with this game. It isn't about just the health and the skill. It's about getting fuel. Surely we should have taken spare fuel canisters with us. Rough, 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 course, rough, rough, course, stay on target. I think the majority is going down the rough track. So, we're going down the rough track. Turn to 24. 24. You drive along the bumpy road until you come to a wooden gate which bars the way. The gate is covered with barbed wire, and a heavily tattooed, bare-chested man, who looks a little bit like Chuck Norris, sits casually astride it, brandishing a machine gun. In a gruff voice, he says, "I don't recognise you. What gang are you from? Black Rats?" Oh no, hang on. "Black Rats," you reply on the spur of the moment. "Never heard of them," the man replies. "Still, we'll race against anybody. Follow the road down to the burnt-out house, and you'll see the other cars parked there. The first race will start in about 5 minutes. There are some pretty heavy bets being laid today. Should be lots of fun." Okay, so there's a race going on. So we can drive through the gate. If you want me to do that, put gate. Or if we want to reverse quickly and drive back to the main road and head south. So what do we want to do? Gate. Ask him if he has any spare biscuits. It's Barbara's brother, Chad. Yes. So yeah, what do we want to do? Are we going to go in for this race? If you want me to do that, put the word gate. If you want me to not to do this and to go back to the main road and head south, put south. So gate or south. We have gate, gate, gate. He only eats raw chicken. Gate. I think we're going to go racing. But surely that's going to use up more fuel. Yeah, okay. Overwhelmingly, we're going for the gate. I would have done that just to see what happens. So 300. Following the instructions of the tattooed man, Chad, brother of Barbara, you drive down the dirt road to the burnt-out house. 4 customised cars are parked in a row, each sprouting a multitude of weapons. A group of people stands in heated discussion, although they all turn to watch you park. You walk over to the group and ask them about the forthcoming race. A small man with a scar running the length of his face smiles and says, "Rookie here, never been to a blitzed race before? Listen, it's quite simple. Challenge any of us to a race. You have to bet 200 creds, but if you win, the prize is a big can of petrol. If you win, that is." The man then bursts into laughter as the others join in. If you wish to challenge him to a blitz race, turn to 240, or we can just spectate. We're going to challenge him to a blitz race. I know that's what you all want me to do. Go to the race and nick the petrol. Yeah. So we're going to challenge him to a blitz race, turn to 240. You take 200 credits out of your pocket and thrust them towards the man with the scar. He snatches them from you and says, "There's a sucker born every minute. Get in your car. Let's do it." We race for 8 kilometres down the dirt road, turn around at the White House and race back. And remember, there are no holds barred in Blitz Race, except bullets and rockets. You climb inside the Interceptor, start it up and crawl forward to the starting line. Your opponent draws alongside you in his bright yellow Ford. You see that it is armed with 2 machine guns and a grenade launcher. A girl standing in between the 2 cars raises a white towel into the air and then suddenly pulls it down to signal the start of the race. Roll 2 dice. We're basically doing a skill check. But I'm just going to kill him with rockets. I'm just going to blow him up. I don't like him. Okay, we have succeeded on our skill check. You stamp down on the accelerator and release the clutch at the same time. The back wheels spin, throwing up dust, but you race off ahead of the yellow Ford. In your rearview mirror, you see the anger on your opponent's face as he drives to the limit along the narrow road to catch up with you. The Ford must be supercharged. It accelerates up behind you and rams your car at high speed. Test your luck. Ooh. Just made it. Luck goes down by 1. Okay. 354. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm not getting the options for oil or spikes, otherwise I totally would have done. And that's one of the slight frustrations with games with limited choices when you are used to playing role-playing games where you can do whatever you want, basically. Right, 354. The interceptor swerves to the left, but you steer into the skid and keep the car under control. You have to think quickly what tactics to use. Will you accelerate away or brake hard and let the Ford pass you? No option to use the oil or the spikes. So what we're going to do, are we going to accelerate away, put accelerate in the chat, or do we want to brake hard to let the Ford pass us? If we do, say brake. So let us know, accelerate or brake. Throw banana skin out of the window. It's not an option. This isn't Looney Tunes or Wacky Races. Yeah, brake, 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 and then rockets. That's what I was thinking. Throw a red shell at him. What's that from? Rick's saying banana skin as well. Pick up a red shell. I don't know what that's in reference to. Right, so we've got acceleration. We got brake, 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 acceleration, brake, 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 brake. Right, okay, we're braking. Brake hard and let the Ford pass us, 27. And then, click, click, rocket, bang. You slam on the brakes and screech almost to a halt. The Ford swerves around you and soon accelerating away from you. As you are not allowed to use your forward-firing weapons... What? Where did it say that? I thought it said everything goes. No holds barred. Well, apparently we're not allowed to use our forward-firing weapons, so we're going to ram the Ford. That's not right, is it? I'm sure earlier on it said we were allowed to do anything. Ugh. Right, 139. The Ford slows down for a bend in the road, but you keep your foot down hard on the accelerator. You crash into the back of the Ford, but only succeed in damaging the interceptor. Lose 2 armor points. The Ford has steel-plated crash bars built to withstand ramming. You realise that you will have to overtake the Ford in order to use your rear missile weapons. Okay. I didn't realise the rockets were rear missile weapons. As though he has read your mind, the Ford's driver starts to swing the car from side to stop you passing. It will take considerable manoeuvring skill to pass him. Roll 2 dice. Skill check. Succeeds. Turn to page 8. You make as if to pass the Ford on its left side, but suddenly swerve to overtake on the right. It is a successful manoeuvre, and you are able to accelerate away from your opponent, which is what we should have done in the first place if we'd have realised we weren't allowed to use our rockets. Right, 340. You decide that it is time to use a weapon against the chasing car. So, you look at the buttons on your dashboard. We can use an empty canister of iron spikes, or we can use a spray of film over the road. So they are the choices. Everything except bullets and rockets. Thank you, Vicky. Obviously, one of us is paying attention today. So, are we going to use spikes or oil? They are your 2 options for the chat. Spikes or oil. And how are we doing for time? We're coming up for 10:30. This might need to be a save game and finish later. Both. Can't do both. So we've got spikes. Now 4 people have said film, which is oil, 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 spikes, oil. Tires are run flat. Okay, I think oil film is the good thing. So spray a film of oil over the road, turn to 213. I think I've just seen Barbara's sister. 213. The oils, I guess we cross off the oil. The oil sinks into the dirt-covered road and has no effect on the car behind. Lose 1 luck point. We're not doing well. The driver of the Ford retaliates by firing a grenade over your car to land on the road in front of you. There is a muffled explosion as the steel-plated under chassis takes the full blast of the grenade. Roll 2 dice and deduct the total from your car's armour. Okay, yeah. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear. 294. Still racing, you see ahead of you the White House where you must turn round. You jam on the brakes and turn the steering wheel sharply to the left. You reverse for a few metres in a cloud of churned up dust and then slam the gear stick forward into first. Slam the gear stick forwards into first to race back to the finishing line. The Ford makes an equally swift U-turn and is soon right behind you again. It powers alongside you and the driver pulls down on his steering wheel in order to sideswipe the Interceptor. He looks set to determine the outcome of this duel by ramming. Okay, so we have to fight the yellow Ford. It is firepower 8 and armour 16. A successful ram will reduce a car's armour by 2 points. If you survive 4 attack rounds, turn to 334. Okay, looks like we can't win this. So it's a ramming thing. And a successful ram. Right, okay, so my firepower is 8. His firepower is 8. Off we go. Can you repair the armour? I don't think so. 7 against 7. Nothing. I just need to survive this. I can't actually win. Yep, got that one. So I think I've reduced his armour by 2. Yeah. Round 3. 6 against 8. I lose 2 armour. And then round 4 is a tie. Okay, so if you survive 4 attack rounds, turn to 334, which I did. There is probably about 1 kilometre to go before you cross the finishing line, and you are still locked up in combat alongside the Ford. Up ahead, the road narrows to 1 lane to cross a stone bridge spanning a stream. If you wish to keep your accelerator pressed to the floor, turn to 335, or if we would rather ease off the accelerator and allow the Ford to take the lead, turn to 239. Okay, so what do we want to do? Do we want to accelerate ourselves and try and get to the stone bridge first, or allow the Ford to take the lead, which would presumably is brake? So same questions as before. Accelerate or brake? We have accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. This is tricky. Yeah. So we've got 3 for accelerate, 4 for accelerate. It is tricky, isn't it? It goes down to a single lane. There's a stone bridge spanning the stream. If we get there first and we drop the spikes, yeah, accelerate. The chat is saying accelerate. So we're going to floor it and go to 335. Not 335, 35. It is a battle of nerves between yourself and the driver of the Ford. The 2 cars race abreast towards the bridge. Roll 1 die and add the number. Roll 1 die and add the number to your skill, making a note of the total. My skill is 9, and I've rolled a 1. 10. Okay. Roll the die again and add the number to the Ford's driver skill of 8. Uh-oh. 2. It's 10. If your total is the same as or greater than that of your opponent, yes, just 379. That was close. Who says dice can't be exciting? 379. When you are only a few meters from the bridge, the Ford driver's courage deserts him and he brakes hard, allowing you to cross ahead of him. Frustrated by your iron nerve, your opponent desperately tries to pass you before you cross the finishing line. The acceleration of the Ford is blistering because of its supercharger, and the cars are soon locked bumper to bumper. You see the finishing line ahead, no more than 200 metres away, and realise that the Ford will pull out of your slipstream at any second to pass you. You must block the Ford. Are we going to swerve to the left or the right? Okay, there's the question. Left or right? Why can't we drop the spikes? Okay, so 1 vote for left. 2, 3, 4 votes for left. Brett says right. Left, left, left. Rick wants to go 50-50. Stefan says right. Coin toss. I think the chat is mostly left. The game is betting on everybody saying right. Okay, so I think we're going left. Yep, we're going left. Right, here we go. We're going to swerve to the left. 20. This might be the wrong choice. Remember this for next time. And also, don't lay oil on a dirt road. 20. Suddenly, the Ford swings out to the left to try to overtake, but you have anticipated the driver's move and block him successfully. Add 1 luck point. Awesome. You maintain your lead as you cross the finishing line, and the Interceptor is ahead of the Ford by half a car's length. You have won the blitz race. 1-1-1. Right. The small crowd of spectators gathers around the Interceptor to congratulate you. The Ford driver climbs out of his car, slams the door shut, and stomps away. Looks like he's a bad loser, says one of the others. And it's the first time I've ever seen him lose. The girl who started the race hands you your prize of the can of petrol, which you pack inside the Interceptor. It'll be half an hour before the next race starts, so we're going to sit down over by the trees. Will you join us? She says. You decline her offer, because she's not called Barbara, so we're not interested, as you are keen to carry on with your mission. They walk away, leaving you to check over the Interceptor for any serious damage. Yes. While you are bending over the engine, you feel a tap on the shoulder. You look up and see the tattooed man who was sitting on the wooden gate. Which gang did you say you belonged to? He says in a hostile tone. Do we reply, black cats, black rats, or black bats? Interesting. We've got to remember which one we said. I think it was the black rats, wasn't it? Yeah, the chat's saying rats as well. Yeah, black rats. Yeah, black rats, definitely. Totally. I thought that's what you'd said, but it's just that I've never heard of them before. I hope they aren't all as good at racing as you are. I expect I'll see you again. I'm going to join the others now, says the tattooed man. Much to your relief, he walks away, leaving you to drive off down the rough road to the main road, where you turn right to head south. Turn to 207. That is probably a good point to finish today. So we did it. We got the fuel. I forgot to knock off the last lot. We've done that. We've done the race. And now we are heading south to 207. Well, that was a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to finish this again at some point. I don't know when, but I might do it this week as one of my mid-afternoon streams, or a 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock stream or something like that. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. As I say, it's good to go back to them. They are a lot better than what I expected them to be. I expected them to be more aimed at a younger generation, I think, unless I'm just very simple-minded and easily pleased. But obviously, with the chat, I think it was done. Rick says he thinks we're nearly done. Well, the thing is, we've got to get there and we've got to get back. So you're right. I think we might be nearly there. But then once we're there, we've actually then going to drive the oil tanker back with the 20,000 litres of petrol. Right, we're all done. So yeah, Andy's heading off to Amelia's birthday weekend. Happy birthday to Amelia. I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to be back at 11 o'clock playing Blackstone Fortress on Tabletop Simulator, and I have no idea how to play the game, okay? But thankfully, The other people that I'm playing with, they've been reading the rules. They've been doing all of the prep. Blackstone Fortress is a game I've never played before, but I'm very keen to give it a try. So that's happening at 11 o'clock. I think it's 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure it's 11 o'clock. Tell me in the chat if I've got my times right. Where is the picture of what I'm doing this weekend? Oh, it's actually probably here. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. 11 o'clock, Blackstone Fortress. Yes. So I'll be back here in about 20 minutes time playing Blackstone Fortress on Tabletop Simulator. That's everything. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much to everybody in the chat for making this a lot of fun this morning. This is something that I probably wouldn't sit there and do solo. I enjoy doing this because of the people in the chat, and I'm not just saying that obviously because you're here in the chat. But yeah, this has been really good as a sort of joint experience, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And as I say, I'll do another one at some point. There's plenty of them to go through, and I'm very keen on picking up some more of them now that I've tried them again. Anyway, right, I'm going to disappear, and I'll see you later on for Blackstone Fortress or for another game later on today. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.